Pain's Rinnegan. The Rinnegan is the most legendary dojutsu, a power that once belonged to the Sage of Six Paths himself. But in Pain's case, it wasn't something he was born with. Madara Uchiha secretly implanted these eyes into Nagato when he was just a child, setting him up as a pawn for future plans. With this divine power, Nagato created what became known as the Six Paths of Pain, an ability that allowed him to control 6 different bodies as extensions of himself. Through these vessels, he could unleash devastation upon his enemies without even stepping onto the battlefield himself. Inoichi Yamanaka once compared this technique to the Mind Body Switch Jutsu of the Yamanaka Clan, but on a much grander scale. While the Yamanaka could possess a single target at a time, Nagato could manipulate 6 corpses simultaneously, coordinating their movements with inhuman precision. Each of these bodies served a specific function, forming a team that complemented each other perfectly. Pain's strength was terrifying, but his philosophy is what truly made him unforgettable. Connection to Buddhist mythology. The 6 Paths of Pain were not just random corpses Nagato picked up. They represented the 6 realms of reincarnation in Buddhist teachings, each symbolizing a different fate in the cycle of life and death. Devapath, heavenly realm. Controlled gravity, allowing for techniques like Shinra Tensei, almighty push, and Chibaku Tensei, planetary devastation. This was the strongest path, and the one that embodied Yahiko. Asura path, demonic realm, modified the body into a mechanical weapon, capable of launching missiles and forming extra limbs. Animal path, beast realm, summoned powerful creatures, allowing for overwhelming battlefield control. Naraka path, hell realm, used the king of hell to interrogate and revive fallen paths. Human path, human realm, extracted souls from enemies, instantly killing them. Preta path, hungry ghost realm, absorbed chakra-based attacks, rendering ninjutsu useless. Each of these paths had one specific ability, but together they were nearly unstoppable. The strongest of 6 paths. Among the 6 paths, Devapath, Yahiko's body, was by far the strongest. This was the one that truly embodied Nagato's power and philosophy. Its most feared ability was Chibaku Tensei, planetary devastation. This technique trapped Naruto when he was in his 6 tails form, proving how devastating it was. Even Sasuke, after obtaining the Rinnegan, later copied this ability, reinforcing its godlike status. The Peacemaker. Though Pain ruled through fear, he was also the stabilizing force that held Akatsuki together. The organization was filled with criminals, each with their own twisted motivations, and internal conflicts were inevitable. Despite his cold exterior, Pain often took on the role of a mediator, preventing personal rivalries from tearing the group apart. One notable example was the ongoing friction between Hidan and Kakuzu. Hidan, a religious zealot, constantly clashed with Kakuzu, whose greed and short temper made him quick to anger. Pain stepped in as a neutral force, ensuring that their differences didn't escalate into something that would compromise Akatsuki's mission. This wasn't out of kindness. Pain understood that Akatsuki needed order to function. Without a strong leader keeping them in check, the group would have collapsed long before it could enact its plans. A strange sense. It's easy to see the 6 Paths of Pain as nothing more than corpses, lifeless tools Nagato used to impose his will. But there was something deeper beneath the surface. Nagato still showed care for them, particularly for the Devapath, which used Yahiko's body. Despite being just a husk, Nagato ensured that Yahiko's body remained in perfect condition, treating it with a level of reverence that bordered on devotion. In many ways, Yahiko never truly died for Nagato. Every time the Devapath spoke, it was as if Yahiko's spirit was still there, leading Akatsuki, guiding their vision. This attachment was both a source of strength and a wound that never fully healed. The rain stops on Sundays. Nagato may have convinced himself that he had moved beyond emotions, but his actions betrayed him. Every Sunday, the endless rain over a megakure would stop, a silent acknowledgement of the day Yahiko died. This was Nagato's private mourning ritual, a rare moment where he let himself grieve. To the people of Amegakura, it might have seemed like divine will, their god granting them a day of peace. But in reality, it was one of the last human things about him. Even in his coldest moments, even after killing thousands, he never forgot Yahiko. The influence of Obito. Nagato's journey was filled with contradictions. He claimed to be a god, yet he was manipulated like any other man. At first, both he and Yahiko rejected Obito, Tobi, sensing something sinister in his intentions. They believed in their own path to peace and refused to become someone else's pawns. But after Yahiko's death, everything changed. Grief consumed Nagato, leaving him vulnerable. Obito seized this moment and slowly steered him toward a darker path, convincing him that true peace could only be achieved through suffering. Nagato, once a boy who dreamed of ending war through understanding, was now an instrument of terror, spreading the very pain he once wished to erase. In the end, Pain was never truly in control. He thought he was shaping the world, but all along, he was playing into the hands of someone else's plan. It was the ultimate irony. The god of Amegakure, Itachi, the man who claimed to transcend human weakness, was just another pawn in the cycle of hatred he despised. Ideals and reality. Nagato's story is one of tragedy, a tale of a dreamer who lost his way. He started with hope, believing in Jiraiya's teachings, wanting to build a world without suffering. But the world broke him, twisted his ideals, and left him convinced that the only path to peace was through domination. Despite everything, traces of his old self remained. In small moments, like his devotion to Yahiko, his role as a mediator, or even the rain stopping once a week, we see glimpses of the boy he used to be. But in the end, those fragments weren't enough to save him. Nagato was not born as Pain. He became Pain, a man who turned his own suffering into a weapon, hoping that by making the world hurt as much as he did, he could finally end the cycle of hatred. Master versus Student. One of the most emotional fights in the entire series was Jiraiya versus Pain. It was a heartbreaking clash between a teacher and his former student. Jiraiya, believing in his duty as a shinobi, infiltrated Amegakure to uncover the truth about Pain. What he found was far worse than he ever expected. The young boy he once trained, the child who clung to dreams of peace, had become a merciless god ruling over an entire nation. But despite the horror, Jiraiya refused to run. He chose to fight, hoping that he could stop Pain before the world suffered his wrath. For the first time, Pain unleashed the full extent of the Six Paths technique. Jiraiya fought bravely, even managing to defeat 3 of the bodies. But the moment the remaining paths appeared, the battle became unwinnable. Pain overwhelmed him, crushing his throat and impaling him with chakra rods, leaving him mortally wounded. Even in his final moments, Jiraiya's will never broke. With his dying strength, he carved a coded message onto Fukasaku's back, giving Naruto the key to defeating Pain. And just like that, the man who once trained the greatest shinobi of his generation sank into the depths of Amegakure's waters, his life ending at the hands of the very student he had once saved. It was a victory for Pain, but a loss that would set the stage for his ultimate downfall. The day the leaf fell. If there was ever a moment that proved Pain was beyond human, it was his assault on Konoha. Unlike most enemies who infiltrated or used strategy to weaken the village, Pain walked in alone. He didn't need an army. He was the army. One of his first and most devastating acts was his battle against Kakashi Hatake. Kakashi, one of Konoha's strongest, fought with everything he had, even using his Mangekyo Sharingan, but it wasn't enough. Pain overpowered him, eventually striking him down with a chakra rod, ending the battle. Kakashi, a shinobi who had survived countless battles, met his end against Pain, a testament to the sheer difference in power. After dealing with the strongest shinobi one-on-one, he turned to the village itself. With a single Shinra Tensei, he erased Konoha from existence. Buildings crumbled. Entire streets were wiped out. What once stood as the proudest village in the shinobi world was reduced to nothing in an instant. Even Tsunade, the 5th Hokage, was helpless against him. She used all of her chakra to protect the villagers, but she could do nothing to stop the destruction. By the time Pain's assault was over, the hidden leaf was gone. The massacre of Hanzo's bloodline. Pain wasn't feared because of Hanzo power. He was feared because of his absolute ruthlessness. After killing Hanzo, the former ruler of a megacorps, Pain didn't stop there. He knew that as long as Hanzo's legacy existed, there would always be someone to challenge him, so he made sure that never happened. Nagato systematically eradicated every single person connected to Hanzo. His family, his friends, his allies, none were spared. Even those who had the slightest association with Hanzo were hunted down and executed. By the time Pain was done, Hanzo's entire lineage was erased from history. Redemption through death. After his battle with Naruto, after witnessing Naruto's unbreakable will and hearing his words about Jiraiya's dream, something inside Nagato changed. The conviction he once had, the belief that peace could only be forged through suffering, began to crack. For the first time in years, he questioned if he had truly been on the right path. Then, in a moment of true redemption, Nagato made the ultimate sacrifice. He used the outer path, samsara of heavenly life technique, an ability that allowed him to revive everyone he had killed in Konoha. The same man who had brought death and despair was now giving life back. But this technique came at a cost. Nagato's body couldn't handle the immense chakra drain. He knew it would kill him, yet he did it anyway. In the end, he didn't die as a god, nor as a villain. He died as Nagato, the boy who had once dreamed of peace. His death marked the end of Pain, but it also marked the rebirth of hope. Through Naruto, his dream would live on, and though he had walked a dark path, his final act proved that he was never truly lost. Nagato never wore the Akatsuki cloak. Throughout the series, members of Akatsuki were known for their signature black cloaks with red clouds, a symbol of their shared identity. However, there was one major exception. Nagato himself never wore the cloak. Instead, he remained hidden within his mechanical tower, connected to a massive structure that amplified his control over the 6 paths of pain. Meanwhile, each of the 6 paths wore the Akatsuki robe, representing the group in Nagato's place. This small but symbolic choice reinforced the idea that Pain was more than just one person. It was a collective entity, an unstoppable force that acted as the face of Akatsuki, while the true mastermind remained unseen in the shadows. The original Pain design. When Masashi Kishimoto first conceptualized Pain, his original sketches were drastically different from what we see in the final series. Initially, Pain was designed to wear a mask with demonic horns, emphasizing his mysterious and godlike presence even further. However, as the character developed, Kishimoto decided to remove the mask. Instead, he chose to focus on Pain's piercings and unique facial structure, making his Rinnegan the centerpiece of his design. This shift made Pain even more intimidating, as his piercing gaze and lack of visible emotion gave him an almost divine, otherworldly aura. Pain's music. Girei. Few anime themes capture the essence of a character as perfectly as Pain's theme, Girei. This chilling track, composed by Yasuharu Takanashi, plays during Pain's most iconic moments, from his assault on Konoha to his declaration of divine justice. What makes Girei so unique is its monastic, chant-like quality, giving Pain an almost religious presence. The song's deep, echoing vocals resemble a solemn prayer or a funeral hymn, reinforcing the idea that Pain saw himself as a god, bringing salvation through destruction. The melody is both tragic and imposing, reflecting the weight of his philosophy. Meaning of Nagato. The name Nagato is not just a random choice. It carries deep historical and cultural significance. There are 2 possible inspirations for his name. The Nagato battleship, a famous Japanese warship from World War II, known for its immense power and resilience. Given Nagato's role as a warrior who sought to reshape the world, this connection makes sense. Fujibayashi Nagato, a historical ninja associated with stealth and strategic warfare. This ties into Nagato's ability to manipulate the battlefield from afar, using his 6 paths instead of engaging directly. Both interpretations reinforce the idea that Nagato was a figure of immense strength and tactical brilliance, someone whose presence could change the course of history. Rinnegan coloring mistake. Even legendary characters aren't immune to animation errors, and Pain was no exception. In the Kazekage rescue arc, when Pain first appears, His Rinnegan is mistakenly colored blue instead of its usual grayish-purple hue. While this was later corrected in subsequent episodes, it remains one of the more noticeable animation inconsistencies in the series. Fans were quick to spot the mistake, as the Rinnegan's distinctive color is one of its most recognizable traits. The voice of the Six Paths. When Nagato created the Six Paths of Pain, he ensured that each body spoke in Yahiko's voice. This was a powerful symbolic gesture, reinforcing the idea that Yahiko's will was still alive, leading Akatsuki even in death. However, there was one exception. When the animal path was replaced with a female body, it was the only one to retain its original voice. This small but significant detail set it apart from the others, making it feel less like an extension of Yahiko and more like a separate entity within the group. The Hidden Rain's Chunin exams. Though Akatsuki was a criminal organization, Pain still maintained the Hidden Rain's presence in the shinobi world. During the Chunin exams, he sent genin from the village to participate, ensuring that a Megakure remained relevant. This was a way for Pain to keep an eye on Konoha and other villages without revealing his true involvement. It was a rare moment where his leadership of the Hidden Rain and his control of Akatsuki intersected in a non-violent way. Nagato's chakra sensory abilities. Pain wasn't just strong because of his Rinnegan. He also possessed incredible chakra sensory abilities, which allowed him to detect disturbances in his village from miles away. This was how he immediately knew when Jiraiya infiltrated the Hidden Rain. Even without his Six Paths, Nagato's ability to sense chakra signatures made him nearly impossible to sneak up on, adding yet another layer to his overwhelming presence. The birth of Pain. One of the most heartbreaking moments in Naruto is Yahiko's death, a moment that shattered Nagato's belief in peaceful change. Yahiko didn't die in battle. He wasn't defeated by an enemy. Instead, he chose to end his own life, impaling himself on Nagato's kunai so that his friend wouldn't have to choose between him and Konan. That moment was the turning point. The kind-hearted Nagato died that day, and in his place, Pain was born. From then on, he believed that peace could only be achieved through absolute suffering. A shrine of paper flowers. After Nagato and Yahiko died, Konan refused to let their sacrifices be forgotten. She took their bodies back to a Megakura and built a shrine, laying them to rest on a bed of paper flowers. This was a final act of devotion, a silent promise that their ideals would live on even if they didn't. It's a poetic image. Two fallen warriors resting in the village they fought so hard to protect, surrounded by the delicate paper flowers Konan created with her own hands. Fact 1. Itachi and Jiraiya died on the same day. Naruto fans, here's a wild detail from the manga. Itachi and Jiraiya both died on the same day in the story. Picture Itachi facing off with Sasuke in a brutal sibling clash, fire jutsu blazing and eyes locked. At the same time, Jiraiya takes on Pain in the Rain Village, risking it all to protect his home. These two massive events unfold together. Zetsu even leaves Jiraiya's fight to check out Itachi versus Sasuke, showing it's just a few hours apart. Losing two legends like them in one go shakes up the ninja world big time. The manga blends these moments smoothly, making it easy to miss how close they are. Both characters matter so much to the series, and their exits hit hard. Next time you read, you'll notice this heavy day stands out. Fact 2. Naruto mastered Sage Mode in 1 week. Naruto pulls off something insane with Sage Mode. In just 1 week, he masters the perfect version, faster than Jiraiya ever did. That's 7 days to outshine his legendary teacher. Jiraiya's good, but Naruto takes it to another level, balancing nature energy like a pro. It shows how ridiculously gifted he is, even among the greats. Training at Mount Myoboku, he nails it with focus and grit. By the end, he's dodging attacks and tossing Rasengans with Sage Power boosting every move. This talented ability sets him up to face Pain. Naruto's talent shines bright in that short sprint. Fact 3. Choji enjoys dog meat. Here's a quirky tidbit about Choji from the Chunin exams. When the rookies get introduced, he spots Akamaru, Kiba's fluffy little dog, sitting on his head. Instead of finding it cute, Choji thinks, that'd taste great with some hot sauce. Yes, he imagines eating dog meat. This pops up in the manga and totally flips his usual vibe. Normally, Choji's the gentle giant munching on chips, always ready with a kind word. But this odd thought shows a weird side of him. It's a small moment, yet it sticks out because it's so unexpected from such a chill guy. This little detail adds a fun twist to his character you probably didn't see coming. Fact 4. Yagura is not a perfect Jinchuriki. Let's set the record straight about Yagura, the Three-Tails Jinchuriki. Many fans assume he's a perfect Jinchuriki like Naruto or Killer Bee, but that's not true. A perfect Jinchuriki bonds with their beast, working together like friends. Think Naruto and Kurama teaming up seamlessly. Yagura didn't do that. He tamed the Three Tails with raw skill, forcing its power under control without any teamwork. That's a big difference. Because they weren't pals, the Three Tails didn't help him break free when Obito used genjutsu to manipulate him. This let Obito run the Mist Village for a long time. It's more like Naruto's early KCM1 phase, where he fought the Nine Tails to snatch its chakra. Yagura was talented, no doubt. He mastered the beast with expertise. Still, he never reached that harmony level. Knowing this shifts how you see his story in the series. Fact 5. Night Guy is actually Night Wasp. Might Guy's iconic Night Guy move has a cool hidden twist. In Japanese, the jutsu's name is Yagai, which means Night Wasp. Kishimoto slipped in a clever play on words. It sounds like Night Guy, tying it to Guy's name, but it's really about a wasp. That final kick against Madara looks sharp and quick, much like a sting. Early manga translations stuck with Night Wasp before the anime switched it to Night Guy. The change might confuse things, but the wasp idea fits perfectly with how the attack lands. Sure, Guy's fiery charge could resemble a dragon from afar. Up close, though, it's all about that precise, stinging blow. This little detail adds extra flavor to one of the series' most epic scenes. Fact 6. Sasuke's Usura Tonkachi and its hidden meaning. When Sasuke and Naruto were kids, they studied together at Ninja Academy. Meanwhile, Sasuke always saw Naruto as a fool, but also as a friend and a competitor. Naruto wasn't good at any jutsu and did lots of dumb stuff. And that made Sasuke feel annoyed all the time. Sasuke's got a special nickname for Naruto that hides a neat story. He calls him Usura Tonkachi, a Japanese word meaning thin hammer, basically a useless tool. Early in the series, up to the Sasuke retrieval arc, it's his way of teasing Naruto as a rival, not a total enemy. The English translations bounce around, calling it buffoon or loser, which muddies the vibe. Things shift after Sasuke leaves the village. He drops the term entirely during the Shippuden era. Then, at the Valley of the End, after Naruto's big talk no jutsu moment, Sasuke uses it again. That single word signals their friendship snapping back into place, like old times before everything went dark. The blood, the blown-off arms, the emotional peak, it all ties to that callback. Without knowing Japanese, you might miss how much it means. It's a subtle nod to their bond, lost in translation but huge for their story. Fact 7. Prime White Zetsu died by Sasuke's hand. White Zetsu's got a secret MVP moment you might have overlooked. Not the war clones, those are everywhere, but the original one, hanging with Obito and Black Zetsu in the cave. This Prime White Zetsu meets his end when Sasuke breaks free from Obito's hideout. Fresh off revealing his eternal Mangekyou Sharingan, Sasuke stabs him with an Amaterasu-coated sword. That's a fiery exit. Unlike the war's mass-produced Zetsus, this guy had a unique trick, Spore Jutsu, which he used to track Sasuke after the 5-Cage Summit. The army versions didn't get that skill, making him stand out. His death blends into the chaos of the war, so it's easy to forget. Still, Sasuke taking him down marks a big step in his escape. This White Zetsu was special, and Sasuke made sure he didn't stick around. Fact 8. Shino never lost a fight. Shino's got a sneaky record that's easy to miss. This bug-loving ninja never loses a single fight in the whole series. Pretty impressive for a guy who doesn't grab the spotlight. Whether it's the Chunin exams or bigger battles, he always comes out on top. His creepy insect tricks and quiet smarts keep opponents guessing. People often sleep on him because he's not loud like Naruto or flashy like Sasuke. Yet that perfect streak proves he's a hidden powerhouse. If you watch those bugs swarm again, remember, Shino's undefeated. It's a small detail, but it shows how strong this underrated hero really is. Fact 9. Sasuke doesn't use honorifics after the Uchiha mass execution. Sasuke's language tells a story of its own. Before the Uchiha massacre, he's a polite kid, calling Itachi Nisan, a sweet, respectful term for big brother. After that tragedy, everything changes. He stops using honorifics like Ei-san or sensei completely. In Japanese culture, dropping those is a bold move. It's rude, especially to elders or strangers. This shift shows how jaded he becomes, cutting ties with warmth or respect. You won't catch him saying Kakashi-sensei or anything cozy like that. The English dub and subs often skip this, since honorifics don't translate easily. Still, it's a big clue to his personality turning cold and defiant. That little Nissan from his past is the last echo of who he used to be. Fact 10. Naruto only killed one real enemy. Naruto's not the killing machine you might expect. Across the whole series, he only takes out one actual person with his own hands. Yura, a sand village jonin. This guy gets controlled by the Akatsuki, used as a spy and later as Itachi's body double. Naruto lands the final blow, thinking he's fighting Itachi. That's it though. Kakuzu doesn't count. Kakashi finishes him off with a lightning strike. White Zetsu? They're just creepy clones, not real people. For a hero with tons of battles, one kill is pretty low. It shows Naruto's more about saving than destroying. Yura's the lone notch on his record. Fact 11. Hikaku was more talented than Madara and Izuna. Ever heard of Hikaku Uchiha? Probably not, but this guy's a hidden gem from the Warring States era. Back then, he outshined even Madara and Izuna, two of the biggest Uchiha names around. Madara's a legend with his wild power, and Izuna's no slouch either. Yet, Hikaku's talent topped them both. The series doesn't give him much spotlight, but in the databook, Kishimoto-sensei already confirmed it. Still, knowing he was the best of that brutal time adds a cool layer to the Uchiha clan's history. Fact 12. Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan wasn't designed initially. Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan has a fun behind-the-scenes story. When he first fights Kakashi using Tsukuyomi and Amaterasu, Kishimoto hadn't nailed down its look yet. The manga keeps his eyes off-screen during those moves, no pattern revealed. It's a smart dodge, saving the big reveal for later. The anime jumps the gun, showing his regular 3 Tomoe Sharingan instead, which isn't quite right. The real design drops much later through Sasuke's memories after Shisui's death. That moment, when Itachi awakens it, ties into Sasuke's own journey, facing Naruto with the same weight. Hiding it early builds mystery around Itachi's power. By the time you see those swirling lines, it hits harder. Kishimoto's delay actually makes the story richer. Fact 13. Akatsuki members die when losing their cloaks. The Akatsuki have a spooky pattern you might not have noticed. Whenever a member loses their signature cloak in a fight, they don't make it out alive. Check it out. Sasori's cloak gets trashed, and he's done. Kakuzu sheds his during battle. Goodbye. Deidara ditches his, then boom, he's gone. Itachi's cloak slips off against Sasuke, and that's his end. Kisame drops his too, and it's game over. It's not every Akatsuki death, but when the cloak goes, they follow fast. Think of it like a hidden curse woven into those black and red threads. This little motif adds a fun twist to their deadly exits. Fact 14. Obito can use Rinnegan chains while phasing. Obito bends the rules in a slick way during the war. Normally, his Kamui phasing means no attacking. He's untouchable but can't hit back. Except, there's a twist. While fighting Naruto, Bee, Kakashi, and Guy, he pulls out Rinnegan chains to tame the Five Tails. Here's the kicker. He's standing on the Eight Tails hand, phasing right through it, and still fires off those chains. That's not supposed to happen. He uses them to lock down the Five Tails after it starts breaking free, all while dodging a crush. It's a rare exception, maybe because the Rinnegan's power works differently. Ethereal chains don't need a solid body. This moment slips by fast, but it shows Obito's tricky edge. Fact 15. Kishimoto changed his art style due to the anime. Kishimoto's art takes a cool turn thanks to the anime. Early in Naruto, his style's rough and distinct. Think Chunin exams vibe. Then, around the Search for Tsunade arc, it starts shifting. Why? He falls in love with how the anime draws his characters. Those cleaner lines and sharper looks grab his attention, and he decides to tweak his own work. The change isn't instant, it creeps in gradually. By the Sasuke retrieval arc, it's way more polished, closer to the show's flair. Kishimoto himself digs both styles, but the anime's influence wins out. Flip from early chapters to later ones, you'll spot the glow-up. It's a neat peek at how the series evolves, blending manga and animation. Fact 16. Choza wanted to kill Naruto in Chapter 1. Choza, Choji's dad, has a harsh moment right at the start. In Chapter 1, Naruto swipes the Shadow Clone Scroll, and Choza's not having it. He rallies some shinobi, shouting to hunt Naruto down and take him out. Yep, he wants the kid dead. You can spot him in the manga, big guy, towering over the rest. It's a stark vibe from the village, showing how much they distrust Naruto early on. Later, Choza softens up, so this gets brushed aside. Still, it's a wild peek at his first impression. Fact 17. The Fourth Great Ninja War lasted 2 days. The Fourth Great Ninja War feels massive, right? It takes up about 20% of the series, with battles stretching across tons of chapters. But in the Naruto universe, it's over in just 2 days. That's super quick compared to how long it seems. The anime drags it out with fillers, making it feel endless. In the manga, though, it's a tight sprint. All those huge fights, Madara, Obito, the Ten Tails, happen in 48 hours. Fact 18. Sasuke used Chakra to throw a kunai with his foot. Sasuke pulls off a slick move in the Forest of Death. Facing a rain ninja, he doesn't just kick a kunai, he uses Chakra to stick it to his foot and swings it like a pro. It's not a wild punt, he grabs it with energy, then flings it with a leg twist. Legs are stronger than arms, so it's a smart play. You see it early when Team 7's scrapping in the woods. Sadly, it's a one-time trick. Only Kakashi tries something close later. It's a creative gem. Sasuke's quick thinking makes this moment stand out. Fact 19. Jiraiya's wart is a piercing. Jiraiya's nose has a little secret. That wart you see isn't a wart at all. It's a metal piercing. Flip to the official colored manga or some covers, and it's clear as day. The grayish hue gives it away. It's not skin, it's jewelry. Most fans assume it's a natural mark, but nope, Jiraiya's rocking some ninja bling. It's a tiny detail that shifts how you picture him. It's a fun tweak to his wild sage vibe that's easy to miss otherwise. Fact 20. Kiba's hair is just jacket fur. Kiba's got a style trick up his sleeve, or hood. That cool black fluff on his head? It's not his hair, it's jacket fur. You'd think it's a bold haircut, but when he drops the hood fighting Seikon and Ukon, his real hair shows up. Pretty standard stuff. It's a letdown after that edgy look. In Shippuden, he skips the hood more, so you see the truth often. Still, early on, it fools you into thinking he's got wild locks. Kiba's fur fake-out is a quirky design twist. Fact 21. Naruto never changed his pants. Naruto's fashion game is pretty loyal. Those bright orange pants he rocks in Part 1, they stick around for Shippuden too. Back then, he rolls up the cuffs because they're a bit long. After the time skip, he's taller, so no more folding. They fit just right. It's likely the same pair, though maybe he grabbed an identical one. Either way, his style doesn't budge. Look at his early days versus later fights. Those pants are a constant. It's a small nod to his stubborn streak. Naruto's all about consistency, even in his wardrobe choices. Fact 22. Temari is 3 years older than Shikamaru. Temari and Shikamaru have an age gap worth noting. During the Chunin exams, she's 15 while he's just 12. That's a solid 3-year difference. It adds a fun twist to their dynamic. Older gal, younger guy. You see it play out as they team up later, with her confidence and his laid-back smarts. It's a little detail that spices up their connection in a quiet way. Fact 23. Madara's weapon is a fan. Madara's got a weapon that fools folks. It looks like a guitar, but it's actually a fan. That curved shape and wide blade tie right into the Uchiha symbol. A fan itself. He swings it with style, blasting foes with power. Plenty of fans mistake it for a musical prop at first glance. This mix-up makes his battles even cooler once you know the truth. Fact 24. Naruto never met Hidan. Naruto misses out on one Akatsuki member, Hidan. Every other canon Akatsuki crosses his path, but not this guy. When Hidan kills Asuma, Naruto's elsewhere. Later, during the rematch with Hidan and Kakuzu, Naruto shows up late. By then, Shikamaru's already lured Hidan into the forest for a solo takedown. They never lock eyes or trade blows. It fits, though, Hidan Shikamaru's personal foe. Picture their wild personalities clashing. It'd be chaos. You'll see Naruto skips this showdown entirely. It's a unique gap in his rogue gallery. Fact 1. Boruto creation. Boruto was created to continue the legacy of Naruto, but with a different creative structure. Masashi Kishimoto, who built the original Naruto world, chose to step back from the writing. Instead, he took on a supervisory role. During this time, he was developing a new sci-fi manga series aimed at surpassing Naruto in ambition and scale. His involvement in Boruto focused on guidance, not direct authorship. Fact 2. Boruto's creative team. The main creative team for Boruto consisted of Mikio Ikemoto as the illustrator and Ukyo Kodachi as the writer. Ikemoto was Kishimoto's former assistant, responsible for maintaining the visual continuity of the Naruto universe. Kodachi had experience working on the screenplay for Boruto, Naruto the movie, which made him a natural choice for scripting the manga. Kishimoto remained active in character design, ensuring that the new generation would align with the established visual tone. Fact 3. The Boruto manga officially launched on May 9, 2016, in Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 23. Later that year, during Jump Festa, an anime adaptation was announced. The anime began airing on April 5, 2017. This scheduling decision created a close link between the manga and anime in terms of promotion and fan reception. Fact 4. In terms of story, the early chapters of the Boruto manga closely retold Boruto, Naruto the movie, but with minor alterations. The anime, however, took a different path. It began earlier in the timeline, showing Boruto's journey before becoming a genin. This choice allowed the anime to explore original arcs not present in the manga or movie, giving more background to supporting characters and daily life in the Hidden Leaf Village. Fact 5. Boruto's existence was first hinted at during the post-credits scene of the last Naruto the movie. This brief appearance served as a transitional moment, symbolically passing the torch from Naruto's generation to the next. It also prepared fans for the thematic shift that Boruto would introduce. Fact 6. Boruto, Naruto the movie premiered in Japanese theaters on August 7, 2015. Its US release followed on October 10, 2015, a date chosen intentionally to match Naruto's canonical birthday. This alignment reinforced the idea that Boruto was a continuation, not a replacement. The film performed well at the box office. Within 3 weeks of release, it grossed 2.02 billion yen, roughly 16.8 million USD. This made it the highest-grossing film in the Naruto franchise at the time. Its success solidified confidence in the Boruto project and encouraged further investment in both manga and anime adaptations. Viewers who attended the film's theatrical screening in Japan received a limited edition official movie book. This book included a one-shot manga titled The Day Naruto Became Hokage, and a full-color version of Chapter 700. The one-shot bridged the narrative gap between Naruto's final chapter and the Boruto era, providing visual context to Naruto's inauguration. Fact 7. Opening song. The movie's theme song, Diver, was performed by Kana Boon. This band also produced the anime's first opening theme, as well as the well-known Naruto Shippuden opening Silhouette. Their involvement created a musical bridge between both series and helped define Boruto's early identity. Fact 8. The castle shown in the opening of Boruto, Naruto. The movie is not a new design. It closely resembles the same Ice Dimension castle featured in Naruto manga, chapter 682. That scene involved Naruto, Sasuke, and Kaguya during the final phase of the Fourth Great Ninja War. The reuse of this architecture creates a visual link between both eras. It subtly reinforces the continuity of threats that extend across dimensions. Fact 9. After the war, Konoha's shinobi began wearing their clan symbols on their clothing. This small change marked a shift in how heritage and identity were portrayed in peacetime. However, in the movie version of Boruto, Naruto's armband initially lacked this clan insignia. The manga corrected this inconsistency later, aligning his appearance with the updated designs adopted by the new generation. Fact 10. Himawari's birthday. When Naruto goes shopping for Himawari's birthday gift, the scene briefly features two hidden references. Inside the shop, there are models of Mecha Naruto and Kurama, both originally introduced in the Naruto Storm video games. These inclusions bridge the main timeline with its extended media. They also highlight how even game-exclusive characters left an impact on the broader franchise. Fact 11. Otsutsuki Dimension. The final battle in Boruto, Naruto. The movie does not take place on Earth. Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and the Kage travel to another dimension where Momoshiki and Kinshiki reside. The air remains breathable, but there is no native life. This planet is accessible only through advanced space-time ninjutsu. The setting separates the Otsutsuki conflict from the human world, reinforcing the alien nature of their threat. Fact 12. Third Rinnegan. Momoshiki's powers reflect a layered evolution. He starts with red Rinnegan in his palms, which turn purple after absorbing Kinshiki. This transformation also grants him a third Rinnegan on his forehead. Unlike traditional Byakugan users, Momoshiki's version lacks visible veins in the manga. He also uses Ice Release, which appears in the novel adaptation. These features suggest a hybridization of Otsutsuki abilities and elemental mastery, making his power set less predictable. Fact 13. Japanese folklore. Many Boruto characters and concepts are drawn from Japanese folklore. The mythical creature Anua blends animal traits in a way that echoes the bizarre nature of some Boruto transformations. Momoshiki is inspired by Momotaro, a boy from folklore who defeats demons with the help of a dog, monkey, and pheasant. Kinshiki, in turn, reflects Kintaro, the golden boy with superhuman strength. These influences shape the tone of the Boruto world as mythic but stylized through modern storytelling. Fact 14. The word Shin appears repeatedly in the Boruto timeline. In Japanese, Shin means new, and its usage reflects a thematic focus on transition. Whether referring to new jutsu, new threats, or new ideologies, the term consistently marks generational shifts and evolving values. It also frames the narrative as a departure rather than a direct continuation. Fact 15. In Boruto, Naruto the movie, two legacy characters appear briefly in the background. Pakun, Kakashi's Rinnegan, is seen in 1 or 2 frames. Orochimaru is also visible in the closing scene, standing atop a building. These cameos serve as quiet reminders of past eras still lingering in the world. They link the old generation with the unfolding present. Fact 16. Boruto Uzumaki begins as an elite genin under Team Konohamaru. Despite his age, he already demonstrates mastery over wind, lightning, and water release. He also uses shadow clones and a modified version of the Gentle Fist. However, without Byakugan, he cannot strike chakra points. Early drafts showed Boruto with Byakugan, and Kishimoto had intended to make it part of his canon design, but it was left out and later only appeared in concept art. His speech pattern includes the unique phrase databasa, echoing Naruto's old verbal tic. Fact 17. Sarada inherited. Sarada Uchiha carries the legacy of both the Uchiha and Haruno clans. She expresses her will with Shenro, a trait inherited from her mother. Her goal is to become Hokage based on her admiration for Naruto rather than Sasuke. Her signature red glasses were a gift from Karen, who aided in her birth during Sakura's mission. Sarada awakened the Sharingan at age 11 during an emotionally charged moment, making her the only Uchiha shown to activate it through joy rather than trauma. She wields lightning and yin release and is well regarded by her classmates. Sarada enjoys reading history and mystery novels, and official art once showed her sketching while using her Sharingan. This artistic trait parallels her thoughtful and observant personality. Fact 18. Youngest Sage User. Mitsuki is a genetically engineered human created by Orochimaru. His original name combined the kanji for snake and vessel. After asserting his independence, Mitsuki changed the meaning of his name to reflect the moon. He was designed to surpass natural human limitations and can access nature energy using Jugo's Kekkei Genkai. He is able to summon snakes, perform the snake clone jutsu, and excels at wind and lightning techniques. Despite his origins, he shows compassion and loyalty, especially toward Boruto. His Sage Mode was unlocked subconsciously when he rebelled against Orochimaru and his older clone, Log. This made him the youngest known user of Sage Transformation. Mitsuki spends his time reading and prefers simple meals, like scrambled eggs. Fact 19. Kawaki enters the story with strong implications about his future impact. In the anime's opening scene, he is shown facing off against Boruto in a destroyed Hidden Leaf village. He implies that Naruto is dead. These elements establish Kawaki as a central figure in a future conflict that remains unexplained, creating long-term tension in the narrative. Fact 20. Boruto's outfit. Boruto's design shifts between media versions. In the anime, his cloak is black and purple, and he carries a sword, closely resembling Sasuke's outfit. In the manga, the cloak is black and pink, similar to his jacket. This visual difference highlights how Boruto's identity can be shaped by both narrative and aesthetic direction. Boruto's design and dynamics are influenced by other anime sources. The relationship between Boruto and Sasuke was intentionally modeled after the mentor-student bond of Gohan and Piccolo. Yodo's rebellious look came from Kishimoto's idea to portray a female character with a punk aesthetic. Yorui's flashy energy and mannerisms were based on Killer Bee's legacy in the Cloud Village. Fact 21. Storyline. Kishimoto has indicated that Boruto's story was meant to be more flexible. He stated that it's possible for even the main character to die. This creative stance opens the story to higher stakes and unexpected developments. It also marks a break from the protected status Naruto held throughout his journey. Fact 22. Shikadai, like father, like son. Shikadai Nara is part of the reformed Inoshika-cho formation. He inherits his father Shikamaru's lazy attitude and tactical brilliance. On his mother Tamari's side, he carries the bloodline of the Kazekage, making him a fusion of two strong clans. Shikadai's chakra natures include lightning and yin release, allowing him to use the shadow paralysis technique effectively. He is highly skilled in shogi and uses it to train his strategic thinking. His birth held political significance. The Sand Village Council once feared that Gaara's family had no successor. A union between Tamari and Shikamaru helped resolve that concern and created a connection between the Sand and Leaf villages. Fact 23. Chocho. Chocho Akimichi, the daughter of Choji and Karui, brings a loud and expressive personality to the team. She embraces her body and frequently comments on how others may view her. She often centers herself in conversations, even when the topic has nothing to do with her. Chocho participates in food contests and believes in celebrating her own uniqueness. Despite her dramatic nature, she remains loyal to her team and friends. Fact 24. Inogen. Inoichi Yamanaka is quieter than his teammates. He is dedicated to improving his skills and prefers constant training. Like his father Sai, he uses the Super Beast imitating drawing technique, but his artistic style is more modern and expressive. He openly critiques Sai's traditional ink drawings, reflecting a generational difference in artistic values. Inogen enjoys painting, playing video games, and experimenting with digital tools. Fact 25. Yodo, a genin from the Sand Village, was designed with a punk-inspired aesthetic. Her eye color varies between versions, gray in the movie and light blue in the manga. She enjoys listening to music and manipulates sound-based waves in combat. Her design, according to Kishimoto, was meant to stand out from typical shinobi templates, giving her a modern, rebellious look. Fact 26. Shinki. Shinki, the adoptive son of Gaara, wields magnet release. He uses it to control iron sand, a technique that requires high chakra control. His design includes red facial markings, similar to Gaara's, and he wears a black cloak made of compacted iron sand. Shinki is reserved and calm. He prefers gardening and embroidery, hobbies that contrast with his combat-oriented training. Fact 27. Bullhorn tattoos. The Hidden Cloud's new generation includes Yorui, Toroi, and Tarui. These genin admire Killer Bee and have bullhorn tattoos on their cheeks as a symbol of that admiration. The designs are subtle references to the Eight Tails, who once had a damaged left horn. Yorui's appearance reflects the confident energy of Killer Bee, while Tarui's skin tone changes between adaptations, light in the manga, darker in the novel, and anime. Fact 28. Although it is never confirmed in canon, Yodo, Shinki, and Araya are strongly implied to be adopted by Gaara. All three refer to Gaara as their parental figure. They share elements of his appearance, such as the facial markings. Their personalities and roles in the team reflect Gaara's emphasis on control, discipline, and quiet strength. Fact 29. Every member of Gaara's team in the Sand Village has markings around the eyes. These patterns mirror those of Gaara and his father Rasa. While not necessarily a biological trait, these marks function as a design symbol of unity and loyalty to their Kazekage lineage. They also create visual consistency between generations. Fact 30. Sasuke's design. Sasuke's character design saw refinement early in the Boruto manga. Initially, he was depicted with slightly wavy hair, a feature that made him look less composed than intended. This was later revised to a straighter and more controlled style, aligning with his calm and stoic demeanor in adulthood. Fact 31. Sai is the only male character in the series to take his wife's surname after marriage. Following his union with Ino, he officially became Sai Yamanaka. This choice reflects the evolution of his character, from an emotionless root operative to a devoted family man who embraces new identity. Fact 32. Asuma's smoking. After the loss of his sensei, Asuma, Shikamaru adopted the habit of smoking. This detail was included in the novel version of Boruto and hints at his attempt to carry on Asuma's memory. It serves as a personal ritual of remembrance, connecting him to his past through daily routine. Fact 33. Sunflower Himawari awakened the Byakugan at just 3 years old. This occurred not during training, but in a sudden moment of anger when Boruto damaged her favorite toy. Her reaction was instantaneous and powerful. She knocked out Naruto with a single strike. Her name, which means sunflower, reflects Hinata's warmth and reinforces the connection between strength and gentleness in her lineage. Fact 34. Metal Lee, son of Rock Lee, continues the taijutsu tradition of the Lee clan. His mother remains unnamed in any official material. He is recognized as a combat prodigy, combining discipline with deep curiosity. His name means future, indicating the continuation of Lee's ideals. His interests include geography and comic books, showing a thoughtful and lighthearted side outside of training. Fact 35. Sumire, Namida, and Wasabi were created for the anime and light novels. These characters don't appear in the manga, but play key roles in original story arcs. Sumire leads Team 15 and has ties to experimental ninja programs, while Namida and Wasabi contribute to filler and character-driven subplots. Fact 36. Hinata is called the Byakugan Princess by members of the Akatsuki clan. This title is mentioned but never elaborated upon. It suggests that Hinata's lineage, possibly due to her connection to Hamura or the Hyuga clan's purity, holds unexplored narrative significance.